Do you like free games? Well, of course you do, and that's why I am back sharing with you 10 free new games you can get on the MetaQuest 2 using AppLab and SideQuest. Now, these games are new to AppLab and SideQuest, so they do differ in quality, but they are all free to download and experience today. So links will be down in the description, along with some links to the most amazing VR accessories you can get. Check them out down below, and let's get on with the video. So first up then is Bird Runners. So it seems that since the popularity of Gorilla Tag, an entire host of copycats have shown up on SideQuest and AppLab. This is one of those games, except the main character is a bird and not a gorilla. And the game doesn't come with the tag element. Instead, you just flop around a few different courses without any real goal. And while this isn't Gorilla Tag, the biggest complaint about that game has made its way over to this. And I'll let you guys guess what that is. That being said, this game has some actual players in the lobby, unlike some of the other Gorilla Tag ripoffs on this list. Next up is the VRTK Infinite Wave Shooter. Now this is a very basic wave shooter where you must defend your position against skeletons who look to take you down with their swords. You can obviously tell this game was made very quickly in Unity, as it lacks any replay value and any substance in the game, but I don't even think it was meant to do so. And maybe somebody out there watching may find some fun in this game, even if it's for a few minutes. I mean, it's free, so can't really complain. Next up is VR Puzzle. Now we've seen many puzzle games on the Oculus Quest 2, but here is a free-to-play puzzle game where you have to put together classic looking statues, and for a free-to-play game it's pretty decent if you're into that sort of thing. There are a lot of puzzles to choose from, and they differ quite a bit from each other, as you can have statues of vases or people, and you can choose between 3 different difficulties. The gameplay allows you to pull pieces towards you and move bits around to see where it fits, or you can move around within your room scale environment. The choice is yours. So next up is the game Looper. This was a game I was actually impressed by, as it's completely different from even the paid games in the sporting genre. Now I will say before I go into it that I was only able to play one level, as it didn't go further, and I'm assuming it was because it was a beta. Anyway, the premise of this game is simple yet brilliant. You play as all the characters in the level in which you are playing. So let me give you an example. So I throw these vases over here, and when the time is up I switch places and I'm able to catch the vases that I threw earlier. I then place them in the scoring area to score some points. This is a game that basically allows you to play with yourself, like literally, but it's also really fun. So next up is Master Runners. Now here is another Gorilla Tag copycat that is casually disguised as a parkour game. This game shares the same locomotion as Gorilla Tag, and you must traverse a few handcrafted levels. I mean, that's pretty much it. There wasn't any players in the lobby, and the levels were pretty basic, and I also fell through the floor a couple of times, and I almost found it impossible to actually climb the levels. So if you play this game, I hope you have some luck, because while this game is called Master Runners, I couldn't run, nor was I a master of it. Next up is Wadality VR Arena. Now this game is a multiplayer VR shooter with a focus on a unique flying locomotion. You can flap your arms to fly up high into the sky and then change your weapons in the game using a weapon wheel and use the different weapons to take down your opponents. You can also play with or against your friends and compete to the best score. Even though it's still in early access, it's still quite a detailed game, and it was actual players playing the game, albeit them just bullying me and killing me, not realizing all I was trying to do was make a video and explore the game. For a free game, this is definitely worth checking out.
Oh, you're that other guy. Oh, he's dead. Pumpkin.
Next up then is Cleanshot. Now this game is pretty much the definition of basic. It's a basketball game where the focus is to throw hoops from your standing area, while the hoop moves every time you hit a successful hoop. And that's about it. I mean, really, there's literally not much else to say about this game, so we're just going to skip to the next game, which is Smashy Smashy VR. Have you had a hard day at the school or office? Do you want to take some of that rage out on household objects but don't have the money to replace them? Well, that's what this game is for. It's there to allow you to smashy everything into oblivion and relieve yourself of much needed stress. Now with this game there are a few levels at different surroundings, so you can smash different kinds of objects and you can grab, throw and smash anything and everything. Currently there aren't any actual objectives at present, but it could be a good game to start VR with. So next up then is Flickblocks. Flickblocks is an interesting combination between Tetris and Cubism. The game is as fast as Tetris with a Cubism environment. The goal is to stack up your blocks and try to complete a layer to score points, and if you lose more than 3 pieces, the game is over. The game does require a 6x6 playing space, as you have to move around within your play space to grab blocks. And it's got some pretty intense music along with some decent visuals as well. It does sometimes get a little bit scary moving around within the real space. Luckily I have the room for it, but not everybody will. But for a free game, there is nothing to complain about, sure. So next up then is Mirewood Manor. Now Mirewood Manor has a couple of things going on. Firstly, it's a narrative based horror game. It has puzzles and creepy set pieces. On the other hand, it is a rec room style multiplayer experience. Now, I didn't get to play the multiplayer myself, as I don't think anybody was really active, but there is meant to be a whole host of mini games as you can play with other people from around the world. That being said, I did play the single player and I must admit it was quite creepy at times, and it has a few decent puzzles to solve that I quite enjoyed. Now the control scheme wasn't perfect and I did have trouble getting around playing the game first, but once I managed to navigate the controls, it was a really enjoyable experience. So if you do play this game, don't expect perfection on your first go. This is actually a really decent game for the MetaQuest 2, especially with it being free. I would recommend picking this one up and playing through the story. Anyway, that's it from me guys. Peace.